Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. As you can see, I have Rick Cheadle's new pour paints. Rick's Mix by Counterculture DIY. Cherry Blossom Red, Daffodil Yellow, Lapis Blue, Alabaster White, Coal Black. And he was gracious enough to send me these products and asked me to give them a try, see what I think about them. And so they're pre-mixed, ready to pour paints, don't have to add anything to it, very highly pigmented, good quality, and 16-ounce bottles. And they will produce cells on their own, so he said you don't even have to really add silicone or OGX to them. So I'm going to do a few experiments with these paints, and I can't wait to try them out. The first thing I'm going to pour on is a plastic license plate. I think it's about 6 by 12. They're plastic, vinyl, and I ordered them on Etsy. And I thought, these would be cool if you paint them and maybe put some resin on them and people could use them outdoors or hang them in their room. I taped off the little slots that are made for the screws to go through, just so the paint would not pour through those holes while I'm painting with it. It is a little bit flexible, so I've got to make sure that it's supported flat as it's drying. So I'm going to have a little fun with that. And yes, I've already dipped into the paint a little bit and looked at the colors, and so I've already got colors on my caps. I'm just so messy. I can't keep anything neat. I think I'll use a 3-ounce cup and do a regular dirty pour on this piece. Just do a little pour. Actually, I have a cup. I put a little bit of the black in. I was playing around before I started the video. I've got a little black in it. I might as well just use this cup since it's already got something in it. And I want probably less than 3 ounces of paint for this piece, but I'll just kind of play it by ear. I'm gonna let these pour down into the colors. I'm not gonna layer them. I'm getting a mess everywhere already. I'll do a little bit of white here, just a little bit. Cherry Blossom Red, which is to me kind of a violet color. So these are the three primary colors on the color wheel. They're kind of the piece de resistance of all of the colors made together from these three colors. That's the beauty of using just primary colors, and I'm sure that's why he chose the colors that he did. I think what I'll do is just do a little traveling. Save a little bit in case I need it. Okay, so there's no mixing. You're really not supposed to shake it. So there's not a lot of bubbles. I am, just for the heck of it, gonna put some heat to it. Okay, there's nothing really happening. I can see some little tiny cells popping up, but right now I don't think I really want that. So I'm just going to go with what I've got and tilt. The colors are nice and vibrant. Okay, I want some color there just to get that to okay, I'm going to tilt that way, and then I'm going to stretch diagonally. Okay. So I really liked the lines that I had from the tree ring, but with it being a wonky shape that I have holes to deal with and all, I didn't stretch it the way I typically would. So, oop. I'm going to tilt back off that way just a little bit and stretch some of that out. Tell you what, since it's just playtime, and I have not poured in probably 2 months. A little gap there, I wanted to put some color back on. Just those edges that feel a little bit see-through. The cool thing about these license plates are they're like super thin, so you don't have to worry about the sides. I probably could have added some white in between the colors. And I imagine this is going to dry kind of deep in color, but if I do resin on it or even just a nice glossy finish, it'll make those colors pop again. So I'm pretty content with this one. Let's move it off to the side. So the next one I'm going to do is a 12 by 12 inch canvas. I want to do a puddle pour on this one. I'm going to take all the lids off and I'm going to just kind of do some random puddles. The first time I ever saw puddle pours was 2 or 3 years ago, and it was Melly D. Melly D was doing her puddle pours, and I was pretty intrigued by that. And then found Anne-Marie Ritterhoff and Rick Cheadle, and thus my pouring journey began. So I'm very thankful to have found those fabulous artists. You don't have to do each puddle exactly the same color-wise. I try to keep to a little bit of a rhythm, but you don't have to. Just drag it through a little bit to break up the pattern a bit, and then I'm going to tilt. Puddle pours are really, really exciting when you do a large canvas, because you can really stretch it out and it can become very, very abstract. So that's the cool part about doing something on a larger scale. Add a little color that's just dripped off over here, which is muddy. So you can't put this on your actual painting. You want to just let the paint roll over it. So that's pretty cool looking. And I dripped right down in the middle. That's okay. I'm going to do something through the middle anyway. It'll pull back in. I do want to get that little bit of color out that I dripped. So I've got a really kind of deflated balloon. That totally didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I shouldn't have drug it. So I'm just going to let the paint kind of run together. I want to get rid of that shape right there. I want some black and white right here. So I'm going to take my good old oval palette. Okay, just to break up that central area. Very interesting. So the edges are, I can see through them, you know, down to the canvas. And I know that Rick probably pre-primes his canvases ahead of time, which gives them a little smoother surface to work with. And this is just, you know, a canvas straight out of the package. So, you know, that might be why, because you see more of the texture of the canvas. And there's cells that are popping up on them their own in places. I'm going to bring it up to you to see and put it away to dry. I do love the drippings. These will make some great skins for jewelry, which I love to do that. Okay, so the last thing I had that I wanted to do, I don't want to mess up, I don't want to put I have a Lazy Susan kind of thing I was going to spin on the next one. So I've got my little spinning Lazy Susan thing, and I have some MDF square coasters that are curved edges. So I did tape off the back so that paint wouldn't get on the back, but they're a little harder to tape because you got to cut around the curves to, you know, not have your tape sticking out. And I wanted to try the Shelee art style with Rick's paints. And so the Shelee's art style, it starts with a white pillow, then your colors, and then a cell activator on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the white and the 3 colors and black. But the black I've got is just black paint with water. And it's a little bit thinner than his paint mix, because I think that's the kind of the key to a successful cell formation thing. I tried it on a little piece when I first opened them and just put his black paint on it, and it didn't create the cells. So I wanted to give it a try with the black cell activator, which is just black paint and water, and just see if by some chance it worked that way. So I'm going to lay down a coat, a fairly good helping of white. Okay, and then I'm going to use the black cell activator on the top. And I'm going to blow and see what happens. And then you give it a minute to do its thing. I could tilt, or I can spin it. So I'm going to take it off the cup to spin. So wish me luck here. Okay. So super giant cells, but it did separate and make some cool patterns. So there's that one, and I'm going to do another one, just really kind of like it, so that I've got a set. Again, these are MDF coasters, and I definitely do not want like a ton of paint on the surface because they are thin MDF and you don't want them to buckle. Most MDF will not, as long as you don't load it up too heavy with the paint. That one I think actually turned out a little better. So we have a set. So not too bad for the Shelee Art Bloom, Rick Cheadle. Since that is the rage right now, or the blooms, then you know, if it works pretty well, that might be pretty cool. Also have some little metal license plates, but they're made for like bicycles and motorcycles. They're the smaller ones. So it's got a plastic piece on the back to protect it, so that I don't have to tape it because it's already got plastic, and this side is aluminum. I just have to do one more on this just to see what happens. Who knows? I'm gonna maybe do 2 blooms. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a streak. I want your white to be the thickest, and these are all about the same thickness. So my white is not thicker typically like the Shelee bloom would be. They are all consistently the same kind of heaviness or fluidity. But my white paint with the the black paint with the water is definitely thinner. To try to tape underneath so that at least the holes do not let the paint flow through. I don't care if the tape sticks out a little bit. See, I'm going to use my blow dryer to blow this, I think. Okay, that sew did not work the way I wanted to because the blow dryer is just too powerful. So it still looks cool though. But it blew a lot of the paint off, so I'm just adding some on the corners. Playing is sometimes the most fun part of pouring, just having a good time. Okay, I'm just going to leave it instead of keep pulling with it. There's that. It's, it's a rectangle. I shouldn't have tried to do that because I do not have the Shelee style down pat yet. Just don't have it. But it created some really cool sails, so I'm pleased with that. Okay, one more. This is a tile, not taped or anything, and I'm going to do it with, let's do the white cell activator. So these are 16-ounce bottles, and it looks like I've used a couple of ounces out of each bottle. More of the white, because I've used the white on the bottom for the base. I had a little lump probably in my white cell activator, so just wanted to get that out. Okay, I'm going to have to do one more. A big shout out to Rick Cheadle and his fabulous pouring paints that are doing some pretty great blooms. So again, Alabaster White, Rick Cheadle and Counter Culture DIY, Cherry Blossom Red, Daffodil Yellow, Lapis Blue, and Coal Black. Alright, that one's pretty too. I love black, and so black with anything to me is gorgeous. So that one there is beautiful too. My hands are shaky today. I don't have a steady hand. And here's this one. So they're really pretty. I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And I will post Rick's link somewhere in the video up there, so you can go over to his channel and check out his new products. I think you'll really like them. I'm sure they come in a set so that you get the basics for what you need to create multiple colors. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. I love you bunches, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, Rick. Bye-bye.